Hey there, we have like eons of stories to tell, so if you want to follow us along on this journey and keep up with all the stories that we have putting out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hey, what is up everybody? Chad is here and we are continuing today with Kang, Only Myself Left to Conquer. Okay, so last when we were in this story, Nathaniel had went to Egypt and he basically met Ramatut, which is a future version of himself. And he was like ran away from by the Fantastic Four. So Nathaniel, being used by Ramatut in a fight against Apocalypse, went to Apocalypse to basically find help to try to take down Kang with Apocalypse, right? So Apocalypse is gonna try to send him to the future using this sarcophagus, right? Like he puts him in a sarcophagus, and Nathaniel's awake the whole time, right? Like he's able to think, he's able to see like all that different stuff. He's awake this entire time, right? Just sitting like thousands and thousands of years. He sends him in the sarcophagus to basically go and fight Kang off, right? Like in the time where he is at this moment, right? Because he's not in Egypt anymore. He left. He got ran out by the Fantastic Four. So after Nathaniel gets done in the sarcophagus, sharpening his mind, being able to, prepare himself for all this, he lands in the present day, or at least like close enough to the present day that Kang first arrived, right? So he walks around a little bit and he's basically looking for somewhere, right? He's getting ready for this fight and he's going to, he's going around to this mechanic and he's basically trying to find somewhere that he can work on his weapons and stuff, in preparation for this fight, right? While Kang himself is in a battle with the Avengers, right? So Kang being in a battle with the Avengers, Nathaniel actually makes his way onto Kang's ship, right? He has the ability to get on there because he is Kang himself. The Avengers actually end up running Kang out, and basically Kang has to retreat to his ship. He has to get ready to leave this time period, right? Because he can't take on the Avengers alone. So when he gets back to his ship, the Avengers, they scattered, they leave him alone. He goes to doing his thing. And Nathaniel shows up, right? And basically Nathaniel isn't going to let him leave, right? Like he's going to kill Kang right here. So when Kang meets Nathaniel, he doesn't necessarily know who this is, right? Like he didn't live the same life that this Kang lived, right? Like he wasn't as young as this Kang when he first found the time machine, right? So like as his confusion, like he's asking this Kang, he's asking Nathaniel, like, what are you gonna do? Like what, are you here to just kill me? And Nathaniel's like, yes, I'm gonna kill you, right? I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna take your spot. I'm gonna become Ramatut. I'm gonna spare Ravana's life, right? Because when you were Ramatut, you killed her, okay? Like you actually killed her. You used your ultra diode ray on her. You sent me to war. I'm not gonna be that guy, okay? I'm not gonna be you. I'm gonna be better than you, right? So when he's telling Kang this, Kang freaks out, right? Like, cause Kang knows the repercussions of time travel, right? Like Kang's been doing this for years and years and years. He knows what's gonna happen here, right? So when like he's basically telling Nathaniel that like if you do this, you're gonna create the most crazy paradox ever, right? Like I don't think the world will ever even be able to last under the paradox that you create, right? So when they're talking, he's saying like time means something to Kang, stuff like that. This portal opens up, right? And this voice like comes out. He's like, it's how fitting, for as you will soon come to know, Kang means nothing to Doom. And Doom steps out of this portal, right? I love Dr. Doom though. He is so, oh my god, just a great, just like the best written character. Oh my goodness. So when Doom gets here, he's basically here to kill Kang and Nathaniel, right? Like he's trying to get Kang out of the way so he doesn't have to deal with, him and, all of his time traveling escapades. Trying to undo all the stuff that Kang basically does, in terms of getting in the way of Dr. Doom, right? So when he gets there, Nathaniel, he's basically trying to, tell Dr. Doom, I'm your, it looks like he's gonna say your descendant. Dr. Doom just cuts him off, right? Like he doesn't have any need for the help of Nathaniel, right? So Kang, realizing that both of these guys are here to basically take Kang down, realizing he must be alive somewhere in the future for these two guys to hate him, right? Like that's basically the conclusion that he came to, right? So he starts the attack, right? He starts the attack, attacks Doom, and basically the fight is on, right? So Doom, he's basically just taking on both of these guys, right? Like he's just fighting both of these Kangs at the same time. And what Nathaniel realizes is he's gonna have to team up with Kang the Conqueror to basically take out Dr. Doom, because Dr. Doom is just going to be too much if they don't. He's going to take out both of these guys, and that's basically just going to be the end of it. So after Kang basically accepts the deal of Nathaniel to join forces and take on Dr. Doom, they end up like freezing him within time and basically sending him outside of the ship, right? Basically sending him back from where he came, and that's basically just the end of the fight with Doom, right? So after that, Nathaniel turns on Kang the Conqueror, right? Like he turns his gun on him, and he's basically gonna carry out his mission, right? Because he know Kang isn't, he cannot be allowed to live. Kang is doing too much. Kang has to be killed here, right? Like he turns his gun on Kang and he basically shoots this guy and kills him just like that, right? And he takes the place of Kang the Conqueror. So when that happens, what Nathaniel does is he goes right back to Egypt, right? Like he goes right back to Egypt, becomes Ramatut, and he basically carries out the actions of Ramatut in Egypt, right? There comes the point where basically the younger Nathaniel and Ravana show up to him, right? Like Moon Knight and Iron Lad. They basically show up to him as Ramatut, but this Ramatut takes a different stance, right? Like he doesn't use the ultra diode ray, like stuff like that. He doesn't kill Ravana. He basically lets her live, right? Like let's say he sends her off, has her do her own thing, but he still sends himself as Scarlet Centurion. And when he does that, he's basically trying to ensure that he becomes Ramatut, right? Like this version of Nathaniel becomes Ramatut, right? Like he's not just some crazy warlord out there. It's basically just him realizing that the entire cycle of who Kang is basically just is gonna be a recurring cycle, right? Like there's not going to be any differences. There's not going to be one time where basically Ramatut isn't the guy that he is. Kang isn't going to be the guy that he is. It's all just going to just keep going in this huge circle. That's basically just how this is going to work, right? So but what he forgets is that the Fantastic Four show up eventually, and what they do is, they beat him up. They send him back out, and basically he has to retreat into the Time Stream. That's basically what Ramatut did, so that's what he has to do at this point. So when he does that, he lands in this crazy war-torn place, right? Like all the way in the future, and he doesn't really know what to make of it. As soon as he gets out of his sarcophagus, he basically reaches his hand up, and he's met by Ravana. Now, if you enjoyed this story, leave a like. I'm gonna end this here. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see y'all in the next one.